It's your girl, the Grown Woman Gamer, and today I'm coming at you with another fire commentary. And today, what are we talking about? None else than the Los Angeles Lakers, one of my favorite topics to discuss on my channel. Now, before I get into this commentary, you know exactly what you need to do. Subscribe to the channel, help your girl get to 1,000 subscribers. Like this video so it gets recommended, and of course, hit me up in the comment section. Hit the notification bell. Let's get into it. So first off, happy holidays to everybody. I hope everybody enjoyed the holiday with their family, that everyone's safe, and that you're looking forward to a happy new year. So if you were like me, then one of the things that you did on Christmas Day was watch some basketball. So I watched the Lakers game. I watched the Suns play the Warriors. But today we're going to focus on the Lakers. In previous videos, if you've watched any of the videos I've made about the Lakers, and particularly Russell Westbrook and LeBron James on this channel, you know that I am not sold on the idea of Russell Westbrook as a point guard for the Los Angeles Lakers. And just to summarize what I've stated in many videos prior to today, even before he was on the Lakers, clearly Russell Westbrook is a first ballot Hall of Famer. He has more triple doubles, I believe, than any player in NBA history. He's a stat machine. Athletically, he's great. You know, he clearly loves basketball. It's not an issue of him not working hard enough and not caring. It's an issue of a player who's been in the league for more than 10 years, who's supposed to be a point guard, who simply does not have good decision-making skills. If he was a center or a power forward, it wouldn't matter as much. But the man has the ball in his hand a lot and is expected to not only score, but also make good decisions that elevate the play of everyone around him. And while we could sit back and say, well, he has at least 10 assists. This is part of the whole triple-double Russell Westbrook packaging. But what about the turnovers that negate all of the good that he does on that side of the floor? So what are we supposed to do? Is it possible to salvage this year for the Lakers, or do they need to cut bait and trade Russell Westbrook? So that's what I'm going to address in this short video. So I've said previously, and I'm going to say it again, if Russell Westbrook is going to work on a championship team, he's going to work more as a sixth man that comes off the bench, gives them an offensive and defensive burst, and then gets put back on the bench when and if he's not effective. No coach that he's had to date has had the balls, essentially, to do that. Imagine a team where LeBron James is leading the team, Anthony Davis is healthy, they have a decent number of support guys around the perimeter who can shoot, like Malik Monk, Wayne Ellington, and others. And Russell Westbrook being the guy that comes off the bench to give you 10 points, 7 rebounds. And if he's having a great night where he's not turning the ball over, let him play for 33 minutes. But he cannot be part of the core group of guys that you rely on to win games, because unfortunately he does something else consistently besides get triple doubles, and that's turn the ball over in key moments. And I just am not sold on the idea that he can lead this team, because you can just see in the stats that when he's on the floor, the Lakers don't do as well as when he's off the floor and LeBron James is leading the team. So that's that. But can they win a championship with the team that they have right now? No, I just don't believe it. Even healthy, when the three of them are playing together, there's so many lapses in defense. There's way too many turnovers for players that are not brand new, rookies in their first 2 to 3 years. You have seasoned players who have lots of basketball experience under their belt. There's no reason whatsoever for the amount of turnovers. And I'm not just going to target Russell Westbrook with that. LeBron James struggles with this. So does Russell Westbrook. Some of the other guys, it's not as important of a statistic because they're not the point guard, or they're not the person who's managing the game. But if you want to get really honest, Anthony Davis, even when he was healthy, really wasn't giving up the type of play that we've come to expect from a player of his caliber. This is one of the most unimpressive seasons that he's had so far. And is that because he's injured? Perhaps. And if so, we have to step back and understand that these people are humans. And if he's not playing on legs that are 100% underneath him, or if he's having other issues, that's one thing. But just if you're looking at the numbers in the games that he has played, while he's put up really decent numbers, it's just not enough for us to believe that even if he was healthy, that they can get past Phoenix in a 7-game series. Definitely not Golden State. And I think that they would struggle against teams like Utah and Denver. So should the Lakers cut bait with Russell Westbrook or Anthony Davis and try to get another player? That is a very complicated question. And the reason why is because while a lot of teams would take Anthony Davis, I think even with Anthony Davis's struggles, given that he's not 30 years old, there are many teams in the NBA that would welcome him with open arms and a blank check. But Russell Westbrook is older, and he's been on enough teams and demonstrated what he can do to the point where he's becoming more of, I won't say a declining asset, but he's seen as more of a liability than an asset. I don't think that teams would hesitate based on just his age, because if we're being, again, brutally honest, Russell Westbrook physically and athletically is just as capable as players that are 6 years younger than he is. But the problem with him is that his contract is over $40 million. He's supposed to be getting paid even more than that next year. And do you want to dedicate that much of your bottom line to a player who isn't going to be like the it factor or X factor that pushes you over the top to help you make it all the way to the finals, or God forbid, win a championship? So I think he's seen as a liability because of the decision making, the basketball IQ, just the preoccupation, or at least the apparent preoccupation with stat padding. Nobody cares anymore about Russell Westbrook's triple doubles because he's playing on a team that is probably the most visible team in basketball, the Lakers. And they don't care about him beating records or establishing more of a cushion to maintain the record against other players that may challenge it in the future. We care about the Lakers winning a championship, or at least making it to the finals. If Russell Westbrook came out there and gave us his best play, managed the ball well, as I've stated previously, people turn the ball over. Nobody's expected to have perfect games with no turnovers, but to keep the turnovers under 4 per game, and they were losing while everyone was really giving a top tier effort, I don't think people would be as concerned, because we would just say they're just not as good as these other teams. But on paper, the Lakers should be either the 1, 2, or 3 team. You cannot tell me that on paper, the Lakers at full capacity, healthy, are not better than the Golden State Warriors or the Phoenix Suns. They have LeBron James, who's playing as well as he's played in the last 5 years. They have Anthony Davis, who, although he's struggling this year, has been really competitive in previous years at his position, as dominant as Embiid at times. And you have Russell Westbrook, a guy who, although he has not demonstrated that he can get out of the West to the playoffs without Kevin Durant, he is supposed to be this guy who can put up all these numbers, and he does, but it's just not enough. And so do we make a trade for Russell Westbrook if we can get it? I say absolutely, but it really depends on the person that you're getting. If the Philadelphia 76ers are willing to deal Ben Simmons for Russell Westbrook, which I would not do if I were them. That's what I'm saying. I'm just saying that matter of factly, I would absolutely, unequivocally not do that if I was the 76ers. But if they were willing to play ball with the Los Angeles Lakers, which is a huge if, they should make that trade. If they could get Damian Lillard, which we also know is not going to happen. They should do that too. Even if they could get, let me think of another player, Sabonis from that would actually be a decent trade. If they could get Domantas Sabonis, who is great, he's got young enough legs. I think he can create kind of a little bit of internal competition for Anthony Davis in ways. That would be a great trade for them to make. And I'm trying to think of others. I would trade Kevin Love. I would trade anybody who is consistent, because I would much rather have a Patty Mills who is more of a role player but consistently delivers in moments where he is asked to raise his game. And when I say raise the game, I'm not talking about just putting up 40 points. I'm talking about making good decisions. I'm talking about managing the basketball well. And I'm talking about using your intellect, your intelligence to play the game in addition to your body. And I just really do not see that in Russell Westbrook. You do not see that evolution. And it's just disheartening every game to watch things happen with him that you would expect from a rookie player, but not from a seasoned veteran, which is what he is today. But yes, make the trade. Get somebody who is going to be consistent, reliable, and hopefully somebody who's not been in the league for more than 12 years. So those are my thoughts. I love you guys. I really appreciate your listening to my video. If you have a differing opinion, feel free to jump in. I will be talking about some other things too, but I just wanted to give my 2 cents on this situation. Don't forget to subscribe, like the video, hit the notification bell, and follow me on Twitch. I'm out.